How we doing, ladies and gentlemen, over on the YouTube side of things? This is going to be a tier list. This is going to be the entire elite spec roundup. This is going to be everything kind of all put together. I have now played every single elite spec that we have access to in the expansion. So, what do I think about it? What does chat think about it? What do we all think about it? Well, we need a tier list, of course, don't we? So, I'm going to split this up into a couple of different sections. This is going to be... Let me just draw. You'll have to forgive my terrible fucking drawing skills. We're going to have Ritualist tier. Ritualist tier. Then we're going to have Godlike. Then we're gonna have Surprise. We're gonna have Mid. And we're gonna have Yikes. Alright, make your guesses in the comments where you think things are gonna go. And then review it when you get back, yeah? Okay, so... in the starting tier, we're going to have Ritualist. Best spec in the expansion. Absolutely fucking broken. Amazing open world spec with Walking Sim Ritualist. Unkillable in PvP. I have not been able to beat a single Ritualist in PvP in 1v1 on any spec. On every single spec that I played, we were not able to beat Ritualist one time. When playing Ritualist in open world, I was having a fucking blast with how much fun it was. So, by far, the absolute winner of the entire expansion is Ritualist, and it's not even close. No fucking question in my mind that Ritualist gets his own tier all the way at the top. So, that is Necromancer, Godlike. Haven't even played support Ritualist. It's going to be a fun time. I might just stick my Ritualist in SPVP because I think it's literally going to be free rating. It is so fucking good. So fucking busted. Yeah. Necromancer, as always, best class in the game. No question. In God tier. Okay, actually, no. Let me go through... let's go through one by one here. Let's do one of each tier, and then let's go up the middle, and then down the side, and down the side. How about that? Thief. Yikes. We're putting Antiquarian here. Antiquarian's going in Yikes tier. Yeah, the moment I used the Backfire Shadow Step and got knocked down in a Ritualist's face and got immediately one-shot by Anguish Wanderlust, yeah, that earned its Yikes tier pretty much immediately. The entire spec does not need the backfire mechanic. Just the fact that you can use a spell while it's on cooldown should be the mechanic itself. It's more than unique enough to be its own thing. The abilities they give you are not good enough to warrant a fucking downside. Every single one of them sucks balls. What I've heard people say is that it's a Condi spec better than... I respect for being the one creator on YouTube who doesn't use tier maker. I don't give a shit about using actual, like, tier lists or whatever have you. But, I mean, I prefer it. Like, this is the absolute end-all, be-all tier list. This is the one that you 100% believe, right? In case you can't tell, it's a meme, right? It's my opinion. You don't have to fucking believe it. Argue with me in the comments. Whatever, right? I don't give a fuck. But, yeah, some people are saying that, like, it's supposed to be a Condi spec, which would explain the thief that I got dumpstered by who was using Spear. But then, like, Condi Spectre is just better, I think. Fuck Dagger Condi Core would be more reliable to just press your fucking 3 key over and over on Dagger than Condi Antiquarian, in my opinion. I managed to hit the combo I wanted to do, though, which was funny. I managed to put down, like, the Taunt Doll into Cloak and Dagger into Backstab and one-shot someone, so that was fun. That was it, though. That's, like, the only highlight. It feels like the worst of both worlds. It feels like the worst of Deadeye and the worst of Daredevil all at the same time, because you don't have the dodges to break out of anything. You don't have the Condi cleanse, because to use your Canuck coins, you have to wait the 4-second animation for the Condi cleanse to happen, which is fucking hilariously dumb. Your rifle's underpowered because you don't have combo points for Malicious Death Judgment. It's like, and then you flip over to Dagger, and you don't have Swipe. You don't have Steal. So you can't steal fucking C&D. You can't Cloak and Dagger and then steal. You have to burn your Shadow Step offensively to be able to get a backstab, which then fucks you in the end because you can't use Shadow Step to stomp. You can't use Shadow Step to stun break. You can't use Shadow Step to chase. You can't use anything. Someone also said that you can't use the Inquest Portal device from distance to close distance, which is, I didn't even think about that. But, yeah, that's terrible, too. So you can't use it like Sword 2 with Action Cam, where you can use Sword 2, Shadow Step, Steal to cross, like, a fucking entire field. Can't use it that way, so that's also dog shit. What does the Elite do again? I don't care. Moving on. Paragon. Oh, that's lucky. God tier. The absolute top of God tier. Paragon goes into the absolute top of God tier. I was like Ant, and then I remembered the Indiana Jones spec. Yes, sir. That shit sucks balls. Paragon, God tier. Genuinely, I had zero expectation because ArenaNet does not know how to make warrior fun. They hate this class with an ever fucking burning fire. It heats their soul, if you will, to absolutely beat the fuck out of my favorite class, which is a shame. 3-hit arc divider when. But yeah, Paragon's awesome. Paragon's genuinely awesome. I ended with it. I made sure to save the best for last. I was excited. I was hopeful. I was optimistic. And it fucking delivered. Like, I'm not pregnant, but I can deliver. Motherfucker, this was good. It entirely comes down to the secondary chant. The second, actually, okay, no, Paragon's not good. The second chant of Paragon is good. The one that perpetually pulses healing while you have motivation is crazy overpowered. It is literally better than full counter, in my opinion. And you can argue with me on that one if you want. But having that perpetual ticking, plus being able to repress it for barrier, and then repressing it because you're spending adrenaline, will give you adrenal healing. So then you have adrenal healing ticking, plus you have the motivation thing ticking at the same time. And like I said in the video, my first fucking fight, that Extreme can verify, my first fight, I go into a 1v2, immediately down a guy, stomp him insta, kill the second guy, and then get +1 by another 2 people. Duel those 2 while still not knowing how Paragon functions, because I just kind of flung something together, and then stay against them for like another 2.5 minutes to then eventually fucking fall over. It was fucking disgusting. Absolutely mental. So yeah, Paragon goes in God tier. Unfortunately, the rest of Paragon sucks balls. We will never yield. We will never use it. The commands all suck. Every single one of them is terrible. They were all built in a vacuum, forgetting that the rest of the class exists. So, yeah, Paragon Chant 2 is godlike. Paragon Chant 1 needs AoE damage and burning. Paragon Chant 3 should be the only one that doesn't take adrenaline because it's a stun break, and having to use adrenaline on a stun break feels bad, because then if you get stunned at the start of a fight, which you generally will because people use their CC first, you don't have adrenaline to counter stun break, which kind of sucks. But yeah, otherwise, I'm kind of excited to see what other fun Paragon builds I can put together, but mostly the entire spec is going to boil down to Paragon Chant 2, I think. Which, I mean, it's godlike. It's absolutely incredible for a brawler. But yeah. So that is thoughts on Paragon. Absolutely in God tier, for sure. Okay, right or left? I'll let chat choose. Right or left? What do you guys pick? Do we go Guardian, NG, Mesmer, or Revenant, Ranger, Elementalist? Left? Alright, Guardian. This is in a yikes tier. This is going in yikes. Luminary is going in yikes tier. Because that thing, that fucking goddamn lantern, needs to get out of my goddamn face, bro. That thing has like a vendetta against me, and it is literally in the middle of your screen. If you play on any semblance of a close camera, I like playing with an over-the-shoulder Dark Souls camera, right? I PvP with it just for the fuck of it, just to. It's like playing Dan in Street Fighter. Like if I can beat you with a Dark Souls camera, you deserve to lose. And if I lose, I have a fallback. I'm playing on a Dark Souls camera. I can't see half the spells happening in my fucking face. It's like I said, it's the Dan fallback, you know. Also, the World versus World, I don't give a shit. I'm just playing for fun. But yeah, if you play on a camera setting like that, the Luminary fucking Guardian thing is literally in the middle of your face. It's terrible. It's disgusting. Then the Shroud itself sucks balls because to get to the healing on the Shroud, you don't get healing from the first staff use, which it should heal, and it doesn't. So you have to use the first use of the staff, and then use the second use of the staff to then get a lukewarm heal that does fuck all. And then when you use the hammer, you use the hammer again, you get a minor daze. You can't get anything off of the daze because the daze is really short and the animation is really long, so it's not like you can daze, switch out, and then get something, or daze, switch out, get crowd control. Can't get anything from that. Because the animation is too fucking long to actually capitalize on the daze whatsoever, which is an absolute shame, even if you reset it with the fucking other thing. And then the sword, if you use sword 5 and sword 4, they are on different weapons, air quote. You can't see me doing it, but I'm doing the bunny ears, weapons. So the weapon doesn't flip over. So then if you want to re-access the other skill, you literally can't if you don't use both in a row, which is just bad design. It's just not fun. It's supposed to be Bologna from like Smite, I assume. People are saying Hollow Forge, you know, like sort of vibe, but Hollow Forge doesn't suck. Yeah, this is the first time I can say that the favoritism did not hit Guardian this time. Not whatsoever. Yeah, and then the auto attack basically just dropping a fucking cum puddle on their face was not the vibe. Let me swing the weapon. Right, you're gonna give me these big-ass spirit weapons, and then you're not gonna let the auto attack swing the fucking weapon. Bro, come on. Literally, you come on the guy. That's the fucking animation. It sucks. Odin spears are cool until you realize you can just dodge roll out of it, then it's not cool anymore. Everything is contingent on crowd control damage, which is so useless because crowd control damage doesn't work in PvE because the boss has a fucking defiance bar. So you can't just chain CC it to get your damage buff up. And ending on the hammer to get damage to crowd controlled targets is so fucking useless in PvP unless you can pull off some miracle combo with banish into hammer slam, but they nerfed the banish damage because any crowd controls in PvP from a hammer seems to do negative fucking damage for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why that change happened, by the way. Banish and Earthshaker might as well fucking add health to their health total, but like, yeah, it's garbage. Okay, Engineer's going in surprise tier. Engineer's going in surprise tier. Amalgam. I did not expect to be as good as it is. I did not. Okay, I figured it would be good. I did not expect it to be as good as it is. One wolf pack I knew was going to be crazy good. One wolf packing turrets is hilarious. It's garbage, but it's funny. Yeah, one wolf pack rifle is exactly as good as I expected it to be. Crazy stupid powerful. Pulling 32k DPS in a burst window while like the fight starts is fucking incredible. Highest DPS I was able to muster out of everything. I didn't bench for heavy armors because I just didn't care really. I wanted to PvP with heavy armors more than I wanted to PvE with them. So I don't know how they fucking perform in PvE. But, yeah, Engie is the class that I will be bringing to everything, I think, because you can give everyone Alacrity, you can give everyone one wolf pack, you can play Rifle Mech, you can play Rifle Amalgam now, which is basically Soul Beast fucking rifle. All of the utilities are really good. They have Alacrity, Quickness, they have every boon in the fucking game, just about. Like I said, damage is crazy. They get Berserker Strain, so then they get healing on damage done. What else? The Elite is insanely good. The, what is it, the Spike Slam is also really good. And then it's a stance, so since you can use the Relic of the Weaver, which gives you damage on stances, so then, like, that just gives you 25% damage on press, which you can then rifle for quickness and just rifle auto like a fucking psychopath. Engineer absolutely goes in surprise tier. I would say I'd put it in God tier, but it was a surprise, so it's going in surprise tier. Mesmer, also in surprise tier. This is Troubadour. I had zero expectations going into Mesmer, because I am not a good Mesmer, and I do not play very much of this class whatsoever, so I had no fucking clue what I was doing, but it felt fun to play. And that's kind of what's important. So it's like I said in the video, some ultra tryhard is going to go through and find a Mesmer spec, and I will copy it. Mesmer is going to be the only class where I look at meta battle, because I cannot build this thing to save my goddamn life. It does a lot of confusion, a lot of torment, which is also unbenchable, because confusion is damage on skill activation, and torment requires the boss to be standing still, and most of the time enemies will be moving and doing skills, so the damage will actually be a flip profile from what you're getting on the training dummy, because you're getting no skill usage and standing still, whereas most bosses will be moving and using skills. See what I mean? Kind of flips the whole fucking thing on its head, so God knows how you end up testing this. Good luck with that. I feel bad for the guy who has to bench this and Antiquary. It's a bit of a yikes. But it's really cool to be able to get, like, all the things up in one go, and then pop the crescendo, you know, do the big damage with it. It's really fun, and it's like Virtuoso, but a summoner of sorts. Like, having all the fucking instruments up and playing them all in the right order, and then extending everything, and then doing the crescendo. It reminds me of, the one time I raided in WoW and took it semi-seriously. I played Unholy DK, and it was during this time of, I think it was Unholy Plague, something like that they had. There was this buff, or this debuff they had to keep up, where, like, you would add stacks to it up to 20 stacks, and then, like, if it fell off, you would have to just, like, restart again, but the goal was to, like, keep it at 20 stacks and maintain it as high as possible and do the entire rotation to keep it at, like, ultra high stacks. I wasn't any good at it, but it was fucking fun to play. And it reminds me a lot of Troubadour, where you want to, like, keep the fucking instruments rotating all the time, keep the buffs up as much as possible, and then pop the big fucking thing, the big payoff skill as a result, and then you do 1.4k DPS. So, you know. Alright. Okay, top or bottom? Do I start from top for Revenant, or bottom for Elementalist? You guys pick. Somebody give me an option. Otherwise, we go in the middle. Alright, we'll count till 10. Nobody says anything in 10 seconds. I'm talking about Ranger. Okay, we're talking about Ranger. Ranger is mid. Gale shot. Ranger is mid, fortunately. And I say this as a Ranger main. Ranger is unfortunately very mid. So, exactly what I expected to have happen. I started with Ranger. And the bow itself benched like ass. Longbow benched a little better. Longbow with the bow itself, or the Cyclone bow, benched also like ass. And, like, I couldn't make it fucking work to save my entire fucking life. And then there's just some fundamental bugs with it, like Hawkeye going over Mistral is the funniest thing I've seen in years, because, like, you put the projectile wall down to fire the projectiles through it, you use your big projectile you want to empower, and it goes over the wall because you jump into the air. And it's just so stupid. It's just so dumb. Shrike is cool. Shrike is better than the fucking bow. It's such a shame, bro. Like, Gale Shot got the longbow that Elementalists have been begging for. If they put Gale Shot on Elementalist, I mean, like, Specialized Elements is, like, incredible. I'll cover that in a second. But, like, if they put Gale Shot as it is on Elementalist, Elementalist would never have a thing to complain about again. But instead we get another bow, and it sucks. Yeah, longbow benched like ass. Longbow, great sword, with Cyclone Bow benched like ass. The only thing that did reasonable damage was exactly what I expected, which was Great Sword, Sword Axe with the Cyclone Bow on the backhand. Whereas Hill Bash, Maul, Hill Bash, flip over, Axe 5, quick draw the Axe 5, flip into bow, dump the bow, Hawkeye, pop out, quick draw trigger, Axe 5, repeat. And that's not even factoring in for how you actually play it, which is Hilt Bash, Maul, Hilt Bash, flip over, quick draw Axe 5, wait a second, quick draw X5, boss teleports, and now you flip into the bow. Then you do the entire bow rotation to move back to the boss, and then you pop out of the bow, and then do your melee rotation again. And that's exactly how I expect Gale Shot to turn out. Gale Shot is a bow spec that is better without actually wielding a bow. So, absolutely fucking mid. If not in yikes, but I want it to be good. And it's it's in mid tier. I'm not putting it in yikes because I think they can fix it, but if they put Shrike on the first tier, then you can take something different in the Grandmaster tier that makes it not quite as fucking bad. And fun fact that you'll fucking adore is with Gale Shot, for whatever reason, your arrows restore whenever you go on a mount. So if you're in the open world, there's actually a DPS gain from remounting your Warclaw. Yeah. Revenant, Elementalist. I'm putting Conduit in God tier. Fuck it. I'll put Conduit in God tier. Conduit fucks. This spec is so much fun. A reason being, you can stack Shiro Knives plus Dervish, Cosmic Insight, plus Sword 3. All three of them stack, and you can just dumpster somebody in PvP if you manage to land the entire thing. It is hilariously fun. Turbo gimmick, but it's a great time. I sold myself on GS5, on just Great Sword in general. If nothing else, playing Conduit sold me on Vindicator. Because the Great Sword I used was so much fucking fun. Like, without Great Sword 5, you don't have to hit the bastard. It just auto-locks on them, and they take a whole fuckload of damage from underneath them. So I dueled the Conduit for like an hour and a half, 2 hours or so, the other day while I was playing my warrior. And yeah, that was fun. A lot of practice against the spec. He was running Staff GS, and it had a lot of evade on it. He was playing Berserker. The guy was playing crazy. He was, you know, about facing all my spells and all that sort of shit, like an actually good player. So yeah, that was fun. And he made it look really good. And then I played it, and I made it look a lot worse because I'm not good at Revenant. But for what I did pull off, I did manage to get some one-shots, some bursts, some good duels as well. But it really felt like where the guy I was playing against had a lot of staying power, it felt like I had fuck all. Like, if I hit my burst, they fell over. If I didn't hit my burst, then I would slowly get worn down and eventually just run out of cooldowns. And the reason for this was the Raza utilities are actually really nice, but I think they don't pair as well with Shiro, unfortunately, because Shiro has higher energy costs in PvP than it does in PvE. So the problem I was having was like trying to do all the things I want to do and press all the buttons when I want to press the button, because I'm used to Warrior, which is you press the button when you need the button, right? But with Revenant, you can't do that. You can't press the button when you need the button. You have to look at your energy bar and go, can I press this button? And I'm never going to build that habit unless I'm actually maining Revenant. Because yeah, the energy system is just an entirely different game to manage. And if you main Revenant, you're gonna absolutely love Conduit. But as someone who doesn't main Revenant, holy fuck, that scared the shit out of me. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime, whoever that is, or the Twitch sub, Twitch follow. Fucking words are hard. Appreciate you. Yeah, that scared the fuck out of me. What was I saying? Yeah, Conduit. Or Conduit, as Shiva Buff would say. So, we end on Elementalist. And Elementalist is... I can't leave Gale alone in mid here. I can't do it. That's a fucking insult to myself to leave that shit alone, so I have to put it in mid. I have to put Evoker in mid. Now, The reason I'm saying that is Evoker is mid in my hands, I would say. Because I am also not a good elementalist. So, my basic fire wizard bench 12k. Some people can make it bench a lot higher. I have not beat an evoker in 1v1 either. They're absolutely crazy, but elementalist players are psychopaths. And I am a psychopath, but I'm not an elementalist player. So, 50-50. The skills didn't transfer, unfortunately. So, Specialized Elements Evoker was all I played. I played Specialized Elements Healer. That was fun. Really good healing for full Berserker gear. So, in full healing power gear, it might actually be one of my main healers. Fire Wizard was actually fun. However, Meteor Shower didn't give you the charges on the Familiar. Familiars were also broken to start the beta, so it's a good thing I didn't start with this spec like I was kind of intending on, because it literally did not function. They were not pickable. Didn't play the Toad, and the Lightning one also kind of sucked for damage. But then I went into PvP and got absolutely one-shot by a Lightning Rabbit. So I think Fire is going to be PvE DPS, Water Specialized will be PvE Healer, and then I was playing against the Evoker that one-shot me on Lightning Rabbit. Wasn't playing Specialized whatsoever. They were just playing Dagger Evoker. And Dagger Elementalist is how you know they're a turbo tryhard, because anyone who plays DD Ellie has been playing it for the last 10 years and will shit down your throat. So, yeah, Evoker is mid in my hands. Some people say that the healer is underwhelming because it doesn't have enough boons. The raw healing output was all I looked at and all I cared about, and that was good when I played Specialized Ellie Healer. But also, you probably don't want to play Specialized Ellie Healer because you want to probably get access to the other stuff when you're playing a healer, because you want the utility, you want the boons, you want the stuff, you know. I don't really give a shit, I'll be honest with you. I'll just play at water and call it a fucking day. But yeah, yeah, I think that's the tier list. I think that's all she wrote. So that is Necromancer and Ritualist tier, Paragon and Conduit as our winners in God tier. Our surprise tier, the top of surprise tier is going to be Amalgam, which I would have put in God tier, but it was a genuine surprise. And then Troubadour, which was a genuine surprise as well. In mid tier, we have ourselves Gale Shot at the bottom of mid tier, almost in Yikes tier. If I wasn't a Ranger main, it would probably be in Yikes tier. And then we have Evoker in mid tier, because I am just a mid Elementalist player. And rounding out Yikes, we have Thief, because Burrow. And we have Guardian. For the first time, Guardian is not at the very, very top of the fucking list. So, that's a first. Let me know about your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know if I'm a complete fucking moron. Everything's wrong. It's all backwards. My tier list is garbage. Which, you're right, it's a meme.